Righto folks, update time for my tomatoes. Romas, really getting a wiggle on. These ones here, if you've been sticking along, carrying along and watching my videos, these were only probably about half the size only about a week ago. So they've really taken off. They're now up to the first mesh, which is, I think it's about 9 inches off the ground, so they're definitely at that 9-inch mark. I've buried them pretty deep, so the root structure goes down at least 3 to 4 inches, and then the top of it's about 9 inches, so you're looking at a foot and a bit, 13 inches or so. I'll just quickly duck around to the next sections. The Nepalese are now about 3 feet tall, 2.5 to 3 foot tall. These ones here, these are Nepalese, all the way around to that bin there, that black bin. There it's the second stage of being tied up. I've got flowers. These are all Romas. As I said, if you watch my previous videos, you'll know what I'm pointing out. You'll see the progress of them. So these Romas are about the same age as the first lot I showed you. These ones here aren't, but those ones are. I've got a volunteer here. My tomato archway, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it, it's going pretty well. It's doing really well. I've just give the lemongrass beside it a trim, and then I've also started picking some of these yellow beams off here. You can definitely see a lot more of them now. I've added a bit of soil to this just to help support the root base and the root ball and stuff like that. So I've got these ones starting to ripen up as well. These are a Tommy Toe, I'm pretty sure. And then the next one beside it is another, sorry about that, I had to sneeze, yellow beam. Next one's yellow beams and Tommy Toes or cherry tomatoes. As you can see, I gave my lemongrass a trim. I will post a video up about the trims of my lemongrass. You can see there's plenty of tomatoes in here. There's plenty more hiding in amongst all this, and so I'll get a decent crop this year. I've started pruning some of my first prizes, and as you can see, there's a little one in there. There's a couple of flower sets in there. I normally just trim the bottoms off, just give them a good airflow underneath and stop that disease that gets into them if they touch the ground and stuff like that. I try my best not to water the leaves so I don't end up with any of that leaf problems, any diseases being brought in by the water. These ones here aren't getting as much fertilizer. You can see that because there's a little bit of yellowing in the leaves, so there's a little bit nitrogen deficiency in them. But at the moment I'm about to pump a heap of potassium into them, and I'm about to give them all a good fertilize, so they'll get potassium, nitrogen and phosphate all in one. Yeah, so they'll get a fertilize soon, and then they'll take off again. They'll have another growth spurt and get a few more tomatoes and set and whatnot. As I said, I'll just leave it at that because, here's my tomato. These things are, some of these tomatoes are 7 foot, and I mean the stake that you can see there, that one there, that's an 8-foot stake, and it's in the ground 6 inches. So that's, that's 7.5 foot, that tomato, or 7 foot easy. And yeah, they definitely get a bit of a wiggle on sometimes, and there's plenty of fruit to be had off them. Like you can see some on the bottom, all through here. Yeah, like I said, I'll just leave it at that. I've got a few other things to do yet, so I'll leave it at that.